This is our Forex blog for May 17th, 2012, and this is going to be a unique blog that I'm showcasing something that we're about to release that allows us to do something extremely powerful that should improve everybody's trading beyond belief. We have always had the ability to have a quote sheet or hot list where you can have all your symbols, or in this case synthetic symbols, which just shows one currency, have a bunch of different fields in here that lets you rank them. Now, you have the option of making this a particular color and then sending this symbol to a particular chart, this symbol to another chart, and so forth. But in doing so, that works with regular minute-based charts, 5-minute charts, 15, 30, and so forth. These range-based charts, which are based on tick data and are live-only tools, every time you flip it, the way it was before, you would lose all your past history and only have 1 bar's worth of data on here, which makes it pretty much useless. So no one, used this feature once our tools became more and more sophisticated. So what we have now is the ability to set up synthetic charts where you can set up a blank chart that is linked to, in this case, the 4th different symbol on here. This one would be the 2nd symbol. And then we have a new option called Set Hot List Group Option A, which means basically we go and find another chart, like the dollar here, which would be set to A, and then it automatically resizes it and moves it and places it into that position. So you can have all these range-based, amazing, and very predictive tools sorted from strongest on the top to weakest. And then this allows you to find the best currencies to trade, and it's intuitively obvious. Not only in the currency meter, but also with your regular charts. You can have 2-monitor system where the top 3 to 5 strongest currencies on one monitor where you're looking for buys, and then the weakest currencies are on another one. Now you could do that as of 8 years ago. We came up with that tool, but again, it doesn't work with range-based charts, tick charts, or any live-only tools, because in the past when the charts would flip, it would reorder the data, making that tool almost useless for a number of years. As our tools became more sophisticated, we stopped using that sorting. This, we haven't even decided what we're going to call it, but maybe phantom charts, where you set blank charts as placeholders, and then you place other charts which are have a bunch of live-only tools on them, allows you to have the best of both worlds. Sorting, so you're always watching the best ones to buy, the weakest ones to sell, and the power of our range charts and live-only tools. So this is the first time I've tested it with our synthetic symbols like this. As soon as I make this turn it to green, red, which is the same color as all of our placeholder charts and our currency meter charts, it should put them in this order. And there you go. The strongest one is the yen. Okay, I had the wrong column in here, so I just fixed that and resorted it. So you can see the strongest one, as far as the number of currencies trending up on the hourly basis, is the yen, then the dollar is the second one, then the New Zealand, then the Swiss, then the euro, then the Australian. The CAD and the pound are the weakest. If I resort this, it will flip them. Now, unfortunately, I have this on a different layer, so every time it flips, it puts it over top of that window here. But you can see that makes it really easy to focus on the currencies that you want to trade. This is the strongest, the dollar's the second strongest, and basically in a nutshell, you want to buy the strongest versus the weakest. The strongest is on the top, the weakest is on the bottom. So the CAD is on top of the yen, so you want to focus on CAD yen sells. So we'll bring that one up. Here's the CAD yen, and basically you're focusing on selling this all day. Drop, drop, and when it's underneath the lower containment band, usually it reverses underneath the green 2.0 band, but this is extremely weak. So you would have taken that trade and that trade, but I wouldn't have advised taking this trade. This was so weak that it continued down another, looks like 75 pips. However, the green band, 90% of the time, is the low of the day. I mean, it might make 5 to 20 pip move underneath there, then explode up 20, 30, 50 pips sometimes. So, but you can see that having the currency meter in the right order makes it really easy. This same technology will allow you to have a hot list or a quote sheet with all your symbols on it, sort it by whatever column you want. You want to see the longer term daily trend, weekly trend, monthly trend. You'll always be looking at the currencies strongest on top and weakest on the bottom, or how I plan on setting up my workspace, your strongest currencies on one monitor, your weakest currencies on another, and also I will be dragging different time frame charts as well because there's multiple different placeholders. You would set up a black placeholder for chart group A, and then a different group for chart group B, C, and D. So basically you can have 4 different charts linked to a particular position. So you could have a big chart like this show up, and then beside it in chart B have an hourly, and then in chart C a daily, and they would automatically be flipped. And so you can get the real-time trend, the hourly multi-day trend, and then the daily trend where you can draw your fibs, and all the drawing tools, all the indicators stay on them. And you can have those hidden on other layers to set them up with, and they pop up only when needed and only when that particular chart shows up. So as you know, if you can't already picture this, you're focusing on trading the strongest ones at all times, the weakest ones at all times. And you know, not only is, in my opinion, I think most traders, trading with the trend definitely increases your winning percentage, and it also tends to find bigger wins, which are 2 keys to the profit formula. The more wins you have, higher percentage, and the bigger wins you have, pips. If you have 20, 30 pip wins and 5 and 8 pip losses, and you're right 60, 70% of the time, it doesn't take a math genius to figure out that you're going to be making a lot of money trading. And that's why we've come up with these tools, to make it as easy as possible. Now, in the last couple of days, I've been showing our signals, but today I wanted to focus just on this because I didn't run that other one last night because I've been testing this. Because this is critical to helping traders, you know, focus on the best currencies. So the second weakest one is the pound. Obviously, the yen is the strongest. The dollar is the second strongest. And one of the other columns I put on here, because I like personally to have, when I first bring this up, the dollar, then the yen, euro, pound, Swiss, CAD, Australia, New Zealand. So I put in an order function which allows you to bring it back to, you know, the format that you like it. So that way you can always, you know, look at the 2 most pairs. Most people trade the dollar and yen versus the other pairs. So let me bring that back up here. We'll put it back in the orders here. Now this is reverse order, obviously. Let me flip it again. All right. And it's obvious apparent to me that we'll have to put a new option into this that's always on top, so that things like this don't get flipped around with a quote sheet or hot list. If you always want to have it on top, you'll be able to in the future. A lot of things come up as you're programming and enhancing something, unintended things that are required that you don't initially think of. So let's take a look at the second trade. Obviously the pound now is the weakest. The CAD is second weakest. We want to sell the pound yen, and obviously you want to sell the pound yen all day. As you can see, dropped 70-80 pips, moves up, sell right here, and that just absolutely collapsed. Here it is on a range chart, which makes it even easier to spot signals. And I'm going to actually add one of the other tools I'm working on with the signals, just to show you, and I haven't decided what I'm going to call it yet. But these give you sell signals. So obviously once you spot a currency that you want to sell signal right here, it dropped, sell signal right here, it dropped. Some of these other ones are counter trend signals. On days like this you might not want to take them, but you can see these counter trend signals did lead to about a 30 pip move up. Sell signal right here worked, sell signal right here worked. Obviously if you're trading one of the weakest currencies, it's not that hard when you get counter trend or when you get trend signals to trade. Now these are relatively conservative signals that most, for the most part, when the market gets underneath the 2.0 white band, and especially the green band, most days, 80-90% of the days, finds support and rallies back up. So I don't put any sell signals down here because it is really risky. On days like this, where it's blood red, you might just decide to watch our educational videos and learn, what these other patterns are made from. But you can see pretty much 100% of the time. These didn't lead to too much profit. This one's small profit. This one led to a 25 pip profit. This one led to a 50 or 60 pip profit. This one led to 70 pip profit. This one led to, if you got out with a trailing stop, only a 15 pip profit, and so forth. But obviously, when you combine the power of our signals with the power of the currency meter and or the hot list in order to sort it in any list you want, I mean, you can just as likely, instead of having these synthetic single currencies, you can have multiple currencies in here. Euro dollar, euro yen, pound dollar, pound yen, all 28 pairs, or the top 12 pairs, which are based on the dollar and the yen. So that concludes today's Forex blog. These tools, will be out within the next 2 weeks at the latest, probably sooner. But I don't want to say sooner because then I get 5, 10, 20 emails a day from people asking if it's released yet. And, I don't want to be rude, but, time is very valuable. Time is the most precious commodity in the world. Money's easy to make. Time you'll never get back. So don't email me when it's released. When you log into the software, you will see that it says there's an automatic update. Go to our What's New page on Leverage Effects. Watch the video for how to set up everything, and reset up your workspace. It's probably best to just start a brand new workspace from scratch, because these two tools are the best we've ever released in the last 8 years. The power to focus on the best currencies, have a currency meter that's always showing you the strongest ones on top and weakest on bottom, intuitively obvious, and you can have multiple different columns to sort that by and change it around at your own will. This should radically improve everybody's trading.